Hey guys, I'm back again, and if you noticed, I changed the name a little bit. Now, I'm not going to explain myself that much, but more or less, I wasn't really liking the name. So, we're going by Dark Chow TV right now, and hopefully, I don't know, hopefully that's better. I feel like Lack Rings just didn't really have a ring to it. I just kind of wanted to address that for anybody who actually cared and noticed. So, we're going to go with that. Some of my other handles are still Lack Rings, Lack 5HT, whatever. I'm trying to move away from like my music stuff, so that's kind of why I'm doing that, because it's going to be associated with my music. Even though my art handle too is Lack 5HT and Lack Rings on other stuff, I don't want anybody to go and be like, what the hell is this? I want to keep this content from here. It's still going to be like a transitionary thing, but we'll get there when we get there. Cut. Today we're going to do Sonic soundtracks. So we're going to do just the mainline ones because there's way too many games to cover. But we're going to go from, don't crucify me, but I have them sort of in order here at the best I can. But we're going to go from start to finish all the way up to Sonic Cross Worlds and from Sonic 1, or Sonic the Hedgehog on the Sega Genesis. So, without further ado, we're going to get right into it. We got S tier being the best tier, and D being the worst tier, which means I don't know any of the songs, and this is my opinion, FYI. I don't know any of the songs, or the soundtrack sucked, or, it just didn't hit with me. So, we're going to start out here with Sonic the Hedgehog for the Sega Genesis. And I might get flamed for this, and I don't care. I think, obviously, it has a very memorable soundtrack, right? It's the first Sonic game. However, I think it falls, not flat, but we'll just put it in B tier. We'll put that in B tier. And my reasoning is, with this, is I think this was the first game they did, and the music was great. It was, but I don't think it's the best stuff to come out, especially the classic games, and we'll keep going with that. So, Sonic the Hedgehog gets a B tier. Not the worst, not the best, kind of just that middle level. It really sets like a standard here. So, going on, we're going to go to Sonic CD. So, Sonic CD had two different soundtracks, the Japanese and the American, which I like both of them. The Japanese one, obviously all the way up here, but the American one, I liked it. When I was playing Sonic CD, everybody was like, dude, why are you listening to the Japanese soundtrack, or the American soundtrack? I'm sorry. Why am I listening to the American soundtrack? I'm like, I don't know. I downloaded that, and that was the one I could get when I was, finding it on the interwebs. And, I don't mind it. Does the Japanese one sound better? Yes. I'm going to also put that. The Japanese one is really iconic, so we're going to put that in A tier. If we're going off the American, the US, European, whatever one, they would probably get a B or a C tier, but based off of both combined, we'll put it in A tier. Obviously, I feel like Palm Tree Panic or whatever is one of my favorites. I like the switch ups, so we'll keep going with that. Moving on, Sonic 2. Sonic 2 was definitely an incredible bump up from the first Sonic. Also, I don't know where CD and 2 falls. I don't even know if that's been answered. But for Sonic 2, we're going with this. I'm going to give Sonic 2 S tier. And my favorite probably is, Chemical Plant Zone. Absolute banger. The hill one, was it Hilltop Zone or whatever the hell it's called? Fire. Absolute fire. So Sonic 2, definitely a very big step up. And going in the right direction, if you ask me. Moving on to Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Well, I have two separate ones, so we'll just judge them based off this separate entities, but I'm going to be honest, they're both getting S tier. So Sonic 3, super banger. I believe Michael Jackson did songs on that, if I'm not mistaken, or had some work in that, despite all the bad stuff the man did. He had some bangers. And Sonic and Knuckles, super banger. I think I like Sonic and Knuckles soundtrack better, but we're gonna give them both S tier.
Woo! Woo!
Just iconic. I mean, that was like one of my favorite ones growing up playing. I loved it. Everything about that game was just peak. Absolute cinema. So, moving on from that, I like Sonic 3D Blast. I do. It's a little clunky, it's a little wonky, but I like it. So, that being said, is the music that great? I'm going to put Sonic 3D Blast in C tier for music. I can't name any specific songs or levels that, resonated with me musically wise. I just cracked my voice. That's funny as shit. Sonic 3D Blast, the music falls flat on its face. It gets C. It's not gonna get D. I can't remember anything. It's not the worst by far, but it's getting a C tier. All right, that's kind of where we're at with that. Moving on to Sonic R. Despite gameplay being kind of whatever, it's like a very whatever game. I felt the need to include it, even though it's not like a mainline game, just because the soundtrack is so iconic. I'm gonna put that in A tier. Is it S tier? I don't think it meets that, but it definitely has some very memorable stuff. Can You Feel the Sunshine? What? Supersonic Racing? All bangers. Am I gonna listen to them regularly today? Maybe. It's a little, very kiddish songs to me, but they are bangers. They just boom, boom, boom. But they're not S tier bangers, if you ask me. Moving on to Sonic Adventure. Without a doubt, this is going in S tier.
Woo!
Love this. Best 3D Sonic game, if you ask me, next to Sonic Adventure Battle 2. But honestly, best one for me. One of my favorites. The soundtrack, everything, phenomenal. I wish Crush 4D would come back. I'm sure they would come back, but I don't think Sega's going to allow that. So, S tier for Sonic Adventure. Moving on, Sonic Adventure 2. I mean, come on, guys. Same ordeal. This era, in general, a lot of it's going to be S tier to A tier because it was just peak. Best era of Sonic was those early 2000s, before we get into the Dark Age stuff, which some of them still have great soundtracks. But Sonic Adventure Battle 2, I'm glazing it. Everybody's going to glaze it. Peak soundtrack, very memorable stuff. Live and learn. All the characters' themes. Eggman's theme, just amazing. Amazing stuff. And I don't think they'll ever replicate that, that aura it had to it. And I don't think they can, just because with the time we're in now, I don't think those songs, well, they might still resonate with people, but for back then, those early 2000s, those songs were, a screenshot of that era with the rap music in it, with the rock in it, the industrial, the drum and bass. Not that those things aren't still popular today, but they've changed and, evolved from what they were.
Woo!
Alright, so next up, Sonic Heroes. Once again, I think it's S tier. Pinball or whatever circuit, the casino one, whatever the name of that is. Twinkle Park? No, that's not Twinkle Park. What is that? I feel like an asshole. The pinball, the gambling one of my favorites. The main theme, phenomenal. Team Dark's theme, phenomenal. All of them just peak on peak. Gameplay wise, I still like it, but you're flying off the map. There's nothing you can do about that. It'd be nice if they reported it, which they're probably never gonna do, or did anything. I think there's mods to fix that kind of stuff, if I'm not mistaken, but I don't care. I still love that game. I will go back and replay it every now and again. It's amazing.
Woo!
Going on to my favorite, Shadow the Hedgehog. I like this game. I don't care what anybody says. This game was good.
Speak for yourself, motherfucker.
The multiple outcomes thing, as confusing as it was good. It was a good concept. Could it be polished more? 100%. The music, though, we're here for the music and not the gameplay. Music, I mean, come on, dude. All hail Shadow.
Woo!
All the other themes, every stage just had bangers. And it was that grunge, industrial, techno, drum and bass stuff. And that hits for me. I love rock and metal music, and that was just edgelord. I wasn't even a teenager when it came out, and it was just, bangers. Does it compare to today's metal I listen to? No, but I still go back and listen to it. Funny story is, my parents, I feel like other people experience the same thing. My parents bought me the game, and my parents were little weirdos, and he's cursing in the game, and my mom was like, what the fuck? And then she sees me, like, shooting all the people, and she's like, this is a Sonic game? I'm like, yeah. So I would have to play the game oftentimes with the volume turned down so they wouldn't hear him say hell and damn.
Where's that damn fourth Chaos Emerald?
Because I think I was like 10, 11, which those are bad words. I love that game. Moving on. Sonic Advance, and we'll just do Sonic Advance as a whole. I was never a super huge fan of these games. And that might be controversial. I'm honestly going to give the soundtrack, though, a D tier. I don't remember any of the soundtracks. And, it was on a Game Boy, so it wasn't, the best. Not that, chiptune stuff and 8-bit, 16-bit songs aren't great. I love that kind of stuff. I don't think it hit. I just don't think it hit. And that's where I'm going to stand on it. However, going on to another handheld console, Sonic Rush, and we'll do Rush Adventure as well. I'll give that a B tier. Yeah, we'll do B tier because it's not the best, but it has back to back or whatever, Back in Black, Jet, all that stuff, amazing. I believe the person who did Jet Set Radio did the composing or production on those songs, or at least Sonic Rush, I believe. I'm gonna fact check that. If I'm right, you'll see a picture up here of me being right, and if I'm wrong, we'll just have who did do it. I'm pretty sure the Jet Set Radio person did it. So here's the picture of whether I'm right or wrong. Ta-da. Moving on. Sonic Riders, and we'll do Zero Gravity as well. We're not going to include Free Riders. I never played that game. Pretty sure it was dog shit. I think it was on the Kinect, right? Or Xbox Kinect. I don't know. I won't ever know, and I'm fine with that. I believe whatever he says on that one. It's probably terrible. So Sonic Riders as a whole, A tier. Bangers. Absolute bangers. The whole electronic music thing they did with that, amazing. Amazing songs, especially OG Riders. And then Zero Gravity had some really good bangers there. The main theme I like a lot. I still listen to it to this day. I wish they included more of those songs in Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, but we'll get to that when we get to that. So yeah, moving on. Sonic the Hedgehog 06, the most infamous one, but I think everybody can agree that it is an S tier soundtrack. Woo! I still also will say I don't mind the gameplay that much, even though it's wonky. Amazing soundtrack. It was just, I wouldn't say it compares up to Sonic Adventure 2, but it's pretty damn close with the iconic stuff they had on there. I love that. The main theme, just everything about that game had great music. That is the one redeemable thing. Moving on. Sonic and the Secret Rings. I never really played this game, but I know the songs from it. We're going to put that in C tier. And you guys can crucify me. I think there's only like one song on there that I knew of. That was pretty good, and I couldn't tell you the name of it. Very, not memorable to me. Mostly because I didn't play it. However, I've heard some of the music. I tried to play it at one point. I didn't have a Wii. Well, I had a Wii at one point. I didn't have a Wii nowadays to even try to play it. And the controls were... Trying to map it to a controller was nightmare fuel. And even when I did get the kind of work, it sucked. Right? Sonic and the Black Knight. We'll put that in a B tier. I also didn't get to play this one much. I watched my cousin play it. The music was fire. But we're just going to put it in a B tier. I don't remember a lot of it, other than Night of the Wind and a couple other songs. B tier. Really good stuff. Not the best. Definitely not A tier. Definitely not S tier. That's for sure. Sonic Unleashed. We'll do A tier. We'll do A tier. Sonic Unleashed had bangers. What was it? The guy from Bowling for Soup, I think, did the was it this one? He did the theme, which is cool. That's a little neat fact. I think that's true. We're gonna also fact check these things I say because the internet is full of lies. But here's the answer to that. Who did the theme for that? I believe it was the guy from Bowling for Soup, which is sick. Moving on, Sonic Lost Worlds, D tier. Never played it. Don't know a single song from it. We're gonna play it eventually, but I don't know. So that might change later on, and I don't know if we'll have a circle around back to this, but you get what you get. Sonic Colors. I've only played a little bit of this, and we're gonna go off the Wii one or the PlayStation one or any of the other ones, Xbox 360, whatever the hell it was on. C tier. The main theme's cool. I don't know anything else really from it off the top of my head, so that's kind of where we're gonna be at with that one. Moving on from that, which I gotta replay Sonic Colors. I didn't get to play a lot of it, so backtracking. Moving on from that, Sonic Mania. S tier.
Woo!
S tier. Metal Madness or whatever zone. Fire. The Lights Camera Action song on whatever that was. Fire. Amazing everything on this game for a classic, reboot remake. Super cool. Super cool. I just realized also I'm missing one. We're missing Superstars. And I'm not going to go get the picture for it. So imagine Superstars is here, right? We're putting it right into D tier because I played it. I didn't like it. I also don't really remember any of the songs. So it's going in D tier. Imagine Sonic Superstars here in D tier. Ass. Garbage. Overpriced. I'm glad I bought it on sale. So, moving on to that. Sonic Forces. D tier, and it's not because I hated the game. The soundtrack sucked. The main theme was very cringy. It was just not good. So we're going to play a clip of the theme here for like a couple seconds.
Together we can show the world what we can do. You are next to me and I'm next to you. Push me on through until the battle.
Awful. Hate it. Thank you. Thank you for the garbage, guys. Moving on. So we got a lot of S tier stuff here, and this is probably going right up here. Sonic Frontiers, having Kellen Quinn, having the other band, okay, whatever the hell their name is, all just amazing, amazing.
Woo!
I love that they went with a metal, rock, vibe again, but it was a new age, I guess you could call it metalcore, post-hardcore, hard rock, but with the way they did it, and then on top of all the electronic stuff on the the actual stages, super cool. I really hope they keep going with that sound, but I don't know what they're gonna do. It'd be nice for them to do that more Shadow, and we don't have Sonic Generations up in here, and mostly because Sonic Generations has a lot of the songs that are on these games, so we're not gonna touch that one for now. If I was going to put it anywhere, I guess it would be an A tier. But, Sonic Frontiers, phenomenal. And this, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. Now, I played a lot of it. There are some good songs there. I like Apatos. Apatos. I don't know how you say it. However, I don't understand why the music's kind of mid. I think it's pretty mid. Is it the worst? No. So I'm going to put it in C tier, but I think they really could have done a lot better job with the music choices. I mean, you go to the other racing games and, specifically the Rider series. And I don't know, I just wish they kind of took notes from that and they just didn't. So anyways, folks, this is it. This is my tier list. We're going to download it. And we're going to put it right up there. So this is my tier list. This is my opinion. Comment down below if you disagree or if you agree with some of the stuff I'm saying. But here's my Sonic soundtrack tier list. This is how I feel about it. And this is my opinion. So if you got anything else to say about it, you can get fucked. No, but seriously, this is how I feel about it. Let me know what you guys think about it. Let me know how, any other tier lists you want to see. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll be back again at some other point in time. Thanks, guys.
What we